call to order. I am calling to order the March 30th special call board meeting for the Mississippi Achievement School District. The agenda is before us and the agenda is adopted. We'll now go down to recognitions. And our first recognition will be Ida Green Elementary School, and that's Dr. Landfair. Dr. Landfair, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Tell us who you're recognizing.
Okay, our teacher of the month for February is Mr. William Evans, fourth grade teacher, and our paraprofessional of the month is Miss Laretha Reed, teacher assistant for third grade.
That's awesome. Tell us how were they selected? Was it by staff input? How does that happen each month?
It was by staff input and also our consultants, our teacher coaches that come in. They were selected by them as they helped select them as well. And with Mr. Evans, he's really like taking initiative and taking feedback and implementing feedback very well. And that's why we selected him for taking the lead on things and being a change agent. Finally.
That is absolutely awesome. Congratulations to both of your staff members. McCoy Staff of the Month recognition. I see Mr. Wilson, but we know that's Ms. Doyle. Ms. Doyle? All right, we'll come back to Ms. Doyle later. Well, let's do this.
I'm here, Dr. Watkins. I had a parent walk in. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So this month we're recognizing for for teacher of the month and staff of the month, Miss Kimberly Williams. She's our PE teacher, and she just goes above and beyond. She helped with the Special Olympics, preparing the kids for the Special Olympics, and also Miss Wanda Griffin, who is the paraprofessional for our self-contained classroom. They both work with our students, and we're also recognizing our students that placed in the Special Olympics. We had for spot shot, they all placed in basketball, so they love basketball. For spot shot, we had Jontavius Robinson for first place. We had Aquarius Thompson for second. For the 10-meter dribble, we had two first place winners, Jalen Taylor and Jontavius Robinson again. For second place, Aquarius Thompson, Landon Mack. For third place, Tyshana Smith, Kamari Pittman, Amari Bass, and Savannah Brown. And then for target pass, we had Janiyah Williams and Driana Lewis. This month, the administration team picked our teacher and staff of the month. So we take turns. Sometimes the staff pick, sometimes admin pick. But this month, it was admin.
Awesome. Congratulations to these staff members. We appreciate it. And also congratulations to your students. All right, we'll go down to 3.3, McNair Science Fair participants. Ms. Tanner?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Dr. Watkins. So in February, our students advanced to our regional science fair at Delta State. From there, we had 7 young ladies who advanced to the state science fair. They will be traveling to Oxford tomorrow. So we wish them good luck, but we are recognizing Amaya Yarber, second place in chemistry, Jakaya Puckett, third place in organic chemistry, Destiny Wilson, third place in microbiology, Zakoya Sims, second place in physics and astronomy, Jadens Turner and Ashaya Cornelius, who did a group project. They were second place in engineering and mechanics, and Jayla Sutton was third place in engineering and mechanics as well.
That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And you have 7 students going to the state science fair.
Yes, sir. They're leaving in the morning.
Congratulations to McNair students going to State Science Fair. I know that's an awesome experience. Anytime our students have an opportunity to present a strong writing piece and to do a presentation in public, it strengthens them to be able to go into the public anywhere and connect with anyone and to be able to hold a conversation eye to eye, face to face, and let them know who they are and how intelligent they are. Thank you, McNair teachers, for supporting these students and preparing them for science fair. And yes, McNair students, as well as all of our scholars, are certainly winners. And we're looking forward to some first place winners at State Science Fair as well. All right, now we'll go on to Randall CTE, Mr. Ricks.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. We want to recognize our first year in CCER core certified students for HVACs, and they are Empress Ray, Latraviana Walker, Tyron Jones, Martell Wright, DeCorian Smith, and Priscilla McDaniel.
And we're recognizing them because, repeat that again.
They got their certification, their NCCER core certification for HVAC.
And tell us, what does that certification mean so the public understands?
That means they now have the basic knowledge of HVACs, and when they finish their second year and pass all those modules, they'll be certified in HVAC to go to the second, like a community college, and complete their program.
That is absolutely awesome. So are these all juniors?
It's a mixture of 9th and 10th graders.
Of 9th and 10th graders. All right, and they'll be able to go to the second year, get that second year certification. And really, when that sounds like to me as well, when they graduate, they'll have an opportunity to be an apprentice as well as go to MDCC and work on their full certification. Would that be correct to say?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Awesome, awesome. And as you know, folk in HVAC do quite well. Let your air conditioner break down and see how much you get charged. You'll see how well they do. You'll see how well they do. And we need them. We need them. Let's go down to our discussion action item. First of all, let me go back and say thank you to Dr. Landfair. Thank you, Ms. Doyle. Thank you, Ms. Tanner. And thank you, Mr. Riggs, for presenting our recognitions for the month. We look forward to hearing from all of our schools during recognition time, because this is an opportunity as we're putting information out there for the public during our board members, for our board meetings, for folks to know what's going on in our schools, because a lot of times they don't get to see or hear all of what's happening. And this is our opportunity to show everyone and to present to everyone how well our students and staff are doing. And I thank you for presenting this at the board meeting. Let's go down to our discussion action item. And Mr. Dixon, if you would scroll down just a bit so we can get a fuller screen of our discussion action items. Right there, that's good. And we'll have now Mr. Wilson on your 4.1. Is Mr. Wilson with us? He may still be in transition. So 4.1 is approval to ratify approving the memorandum of understanding between the Mississippi Achievement School District, the Humphreys County region, and Synergetics. Item 4.1 is approved. 4.2, approval of Synergetic for E-rate purchases contingent upon E-rate approval. When that time comes, that approval is approved. 4.3, approval of ratifying the approval of the memorandum of understanding between Mississippi Achievement School District, the Yazoo City region, and SHOTS. And of course, this is connected to E-rate as well. That item is approved. 4.4, approval of SHOTS computers as a vendor for E-rate purchases contingent upon E-rate approval. Item 4.4 is approved. Item 4.5, we have the approval of the memorandum of understanding between the Delta Health Alliance and the Mississippi Achievement School District, the Humphreys County region. And we also have 4.6, approval of the memorandum of understanding between Delta Health Alliance and the Mississippi Achievement School District, the Yazoo City region. The 4.5 and 4.6 are approved. Principals at the middle school and high school levels, just as a reminder, just want you to, you should have gotten delivered to your school today handouts from the Delta Health Alliance for students in grades 6 through 12 that we'd like for you to send home tomorrow. Please inform your students that if their parents would like them to participate, they need to return those signed documents return those signed documents to school on Monday. Monday is our collection day. Only Monday is our collection day. We want to make sure that we streamline all of our activities to stay focused this time of the year as we're preparing for state exams. That'll be within 2 or 3 weeks for some of our schools. And so we want to make sure that we keep the main thing, the main thing. Now we're at 4.7. Mr. Wilson, I see that you're with us now, but it's actually Webster's bicycle donation. So I'll ask Ms. Robertson to present 4.7.
Good evening, Dr. Watkins. We're requesting acceptance, a right to accept the bicycle donation from Mr. Paul and Shauna Parker. Miss Parker is a teacher here at Webster, and her husband owns a business here in Yazoo, and they donated 6 bikes, bicycles, and those bikes will be used to incentivize students that demonstrate academic excellence. That will be bicycles will be given to pre-K and kindergarten students who score the highest on the MCAS assessment, and the student that demonstrates the most growth on the assessment. And also we will use 2 of those bikes to reward our first grade students for highest proficiency in iReady reading and math for first grade. So yes, sir, we're asking your permission to accept this donation.
Definitely, we approved the acceptance of that donation. And thank you to the individual. Who's the individual that's donating?
Miss Shauna Parker and her husband, Paul Parker, of Parker Builders here in Yazoo.
Awesome. We appreciate the Parkers for supporting us in this way and supporting our scholars. Thank you. All right. And 4.8 is Miss Doyle's.
Good evening again. Dr. Watkins, we're seeking approval to begin our fundraising efforts for the school year. We have a popcorn fundraiser, a snack combo fundraiser, and a spring picture fundraiser. And we are planning to use these funds for our end of the year celebrations. And we're going to attempt to do field trips, at least one field trip per grade with the funds that we raise. All fundraisers will take place after in the afternoon before we leave for school, except for the picture day. It was planned before we got our testing schedule finalized, so that's the only one that may interrupt instruction.
We probably need to have a conversation on how that's interrupting instruction. So please follow Mr. Wilson regarding that.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Because we want to make sure that we don't have anything that interrupts our high dosage tutoring schedule and our other support schedules for students, okay?
Yes, sir. We'll plan their picture time around, make sure we're planning it around their ELA and math block.
Okay. Be sure to have that conversation with Mr. Wilson, okay?
Yes, sir.
Your item is approved. All right, 4.9, Ms. Robinson.
Good evening again, Dr. Watkins. 4.9 is dealing with asking permission to host a spring ball for our scholars here at Webster Elementary School. The event is scheduled for April 29th, and that is a Saturday where students will have an opportunity to gather together here and to dress up and to really engage with each other. So again, the fundraiser activity will be used to fund our end of the year student incentives as well as field trips for our students.
Okay, thank you. That item is approved. 4.10, Ms. Henson. Mr. Wilson, will you present Ms. Henson's item 4.10?
Yes, sir. So 4.10 is requesting the approval to accept chargers. We have a local donor by the name of Miss Dorothy Thomas, who is a guardian of one of the students at Woolfolk, and she is wanting to donate 10 chargers to Chromebook 10 Chromebook chargers to Woolfolk. So we are requesting approval to accept that donation from our donor.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. And it might look like a small thing, but believe me, a charger is a very important item for these Chromebooks. So we really thank Ms. Thomas for this donation. 4.10 is approved. 4.11, Mr. Giles.
Thank you, Dr. Watkins. 4.11, we're asking approval to declare all items listed in 4.11.1 and 4.11.12.1 as obsolete and of no further use to our district, and we ask that these items be removed from our fixed asset inventory.
That item 4.11 is approved. Mr. Giles, you have 4.12.
4.12 is approval of the consulting contract between the Mississippi Achievement School District and Mr. Justin Washington. Justin Washington is slated to be our football coach at the Yazoo City High School in the fall, and we're asking permission to contract with Mr. Washington to facilitate and coach our spring football practice. It starts in April.
That item is approved. 4.13.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Watkins, I am submitting for your approval the 2023-2024 academic calendar for the Mississippi Achievement School District, taking into consideration all school days, teacher days, and holidays necessary for the upcoming school year.
Thank you. That item is approved. Ms. Upshaw, 4.14.
Good afternoon. I'm requesting your approval of claims dockets for March 30th, 2023. We have Humphreys County claims 180851 through 180879, totaling $38,184.22. And also on the Yazoo City side, 58593 through 58956, totaling $20,150.68.
All right. That item is approved.
And I'd also like for your approval of the employee work days for fiscal year 2023 and 2024.
That item is approved. All right, 4.16, approval of pay resolution. That's on the Chief Brown. Chief Brown, are you with us? All right. I'm going to table this item. Have you, we're going to table 4.16. Okay, did you get that, Ms. Gray?
Say it again.
Yes, sir. I got
Okay.
it.
So that item will make an adjustment to the agenda 4.16. All right. 4.17, approval of Woodford Middle School to travel to Memphis, Tennessee. We have that under Mr. Wilson, but that is Ms. Henson.
I will present on behalf of Ms. Henson, unless Ms. Henson is available to present.
Go ahead and present it.
Yes, sir. Dr. Watkins, we are requesting approval for our cheerleaders from Woodford Middle School to travel to the Memphis Grizzly game. And our cheerleaders were initially invited to perform. And so we had to do some other scheduling. So they will be participating in just attending the game at this time. And so that will be on April 4th. And so we're asking you to approve an out-of-state field trip.
That item is approved. All right, we're down now to the monthly progress reports. This actually will be facilitated by Dr. Austin. She will now be managing this part of the agenda each time we do the monthly report. So let's give her our undivided attention, as this is her first time managing all the reports. So Dr. Austin, now we did not have Ida Green, so we'll get Ida Green in the next presentation.
We have it, Dr. Watkins. Mr. Dixon is prepared to display.
It is not on the formal agenda.
I'm sorry. That's right. Well, we have board reports for at Humphreys County High School, and we also have board reports for O.M. McNair Middle School. So we will have the reports presented in the order that they're printed here on the agenda. Mr. Russell?
Yes, ma'am. For the board report for March, our 2021-2022 accountability results, we're a D. And for our overall school goals, we wanted to have a 621, which will be a C. Going down to our first benchmark, Miss Dr. Austin, go down. And going down. Okay, there we are. First bench. Now go down to the next one. Right. All right. So first benchmark assessment, and we came out at 588, which is a C. Our ELA 36.8 proficiency, and our growth all was an 83, and our growth bottom 25 was a 41.2. Our math proficiency was a 19.5. Our growth of all was an 89.4, and our growth bottom 25 was a 90.4. And our biology was a 10. U.S. history was a 9.3. And for the second benchmark, we exceeded our goal. We had a 59.2 for reading proficiency. Growth of all for ELA was a 96.6, and the bottom 25 was a 79.4. Our algebra proficiency was a 24.3. Our algebra growth of all was a 99.6, and our growth for the bottom 25 was 100. The biology was a 22.3, and the U.S. history was a 3.5.
So in the report, this is the information that you submitted in the last report as well, isn't it?
Yes, it didn't change.
So let's keep in mind that at each report, you're only reporting the updated information. Is that correct, Dr. Austin?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Right, you're only reporting the updated parts of your report so that we're not rehashing the same thing from month to month. Okay?
Yes, sir. So we can go down to our March data. Total enrollment was 400 students. Our percent of students with 2 or more absences for the month was 18.75. Our teacher attendance rate was 89. Our number of disciplinary referrals was 6. Our number of classroom referrals for the English classes were 24. Our number of classroom observations for math was 20. Our number of classroom observations for science was 26. And our number of classrooms observations for U.S. history was 31. And going down to our budget, I give an update on that as well. Right, Dr. Austin?
Yes, sir. Since we are at the third quarter now.
Yes. Our third quarter remaining balance is $86,362.10. And that's for fiscal year 23. Fiscal year 22, third quarter remaining balance is $6,670.28. And our third quarter remaining balance for fiscal year FY21 is going to be $8,413.11.
Okay.
That concludes the report, correct?
Yes, sir. That concludes this report.
And I noticed in your report that your student ADA was missing. Was that an oversight?
That was an oversight. I actually just calculated it, Dr. Watkins. It is 88.52.
Okay.
Which is fairly low.
It's extremely important for our parents to understand that our children need to be in school. When our students don't come to school, you put your students' academic growth in jeopardy. You place the school and the school district in jeopardy, because the only way we can get Humphreys County School District and Yazoo City School District out of state control is to ensure each district is rated a C. That means that we need the schools to be rated a C or higher. Parents, we need you to ensure that your children are at school. There is no reason for them to not be in school. We need your cooperation. We need your support. We need you to ensure that you, as the parent, are handling matters appropriately to have your children in school. We cannot ensure that students do well on these exams. We cannot ensure that they pass state exams. We cannot ensure that they graduate if they are not in school. So we are asking you for your support to make sure your child get on the bus, or you bring them to be on time and to be ready for learning. We cannot do this without you. The teachers cannot do this without you. We need you to make sure that your children are in school every day. We need our scholars in school every day. All right, we'll go to the next report. Thank you, Mr. Russell.
Yes, sir.
All right, good afternoon once again. So we don't have any updated data as of now for benchmark 3. So we do not have any updated accountability data to report for this month. But for the month of March, we currently have 396 students enrolled. Our student ADA is 94.04%. We're a little bit short of our goal of 95%. We're working hard to try to increase that to hit our goal. Our number of students with 2 or more absences is 3.28%. Our teacher ADA is 98%. Discipline referrals are 10. Classroom observations and ELA, 10. Math, 14. Science, ELA is 14. Math, 11. Science is 5. And we don't have U.S. history at the middle school level. So then we scroll down right here. We recently submitted our 1003 application for this school year. Pending approval of the application, we were allocated $114,092. We are planning to allocate $40,000 for instructional supplies, resources, and software. We also plan to allocate $28,092 for job embedded PD, salaries, and benefits for our teachers to engage in professional development. We also are wanting to allocate $25,000 for Chromebooks so that our students can remain engaged with digital instruction, and $21,000 for our summer transition program, especially with our rising fifth graders. So that is how we plan to allocate that 114 pending approval of our 1003 application. And our budgets for the month of March. So based on the last report that we ran for our FY23, we have a balance of $83,008.91. FY22, we have a balance of $57,195.10. FY21, we have a balance of $20,994.21. That is our 1003 budget. We also have some title funding. For FY23, we have a balance of $4,711.48. FY22 is $29,956.50. And FY21, I think we have $19,160.32. And that completes our board updates for the March report.
Okay, now we'll move to the Yazoo City region.
Hold before you go further. I'm interested in knowing what is happening with the observations at McCoy. At McNair.
In terms of the number of observations?
Yes.
So, so we're still observing, but it's more of a push in. So we're just not capturing on the tracker as much as we should, because it's more of a push in, but we will be more intentional with also tracking the data, but we still are in the classrooms.
So. As you know, there's a saying that said, if it's not documented, it didn't happen.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Okay. So then if we need a tool that will capture a different kind of observation that you're doing, let's get with Mr. Wilson to develop what that tool is, because what's documented is something that we can ensure that has occurred, because observations will correlate to outcomes.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. I always match outputs to outcomes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay. Next, we will have Webster Elementary School.
Good evening again, everyone. We do not have any updated diagnostic data to report, so we will go straight into our March data information. At this time, in the month of March, we have, for March, we have 300 students enrolled at Webster. Our student ADA for the previous month was 93.26%. We've not quite met our goal of 95%, but again, we've seen an increase in student attendance. Still, chronic absenteeism is still an area of concern for us, with students missing 2 or more days within a month. As you can see, our chronic absenteeism rate is 34%. Our teacher attendance rate is 94%. Disciplinary referrals, we have 0. Or ELA observation, we have 26 for math observations. We have 13s, and we do not capture U.S. history and science at this grade level. In terms of budgeting,
so let's put a pin right there, because I want to address your student ADA for chronic absenteeism.
Yes, sir.
Too often with our younger students, our parents tend to think that it's not important for the students to be in school.
Yes, sir.
because they think they can always make it up.
Yes, sir.
Parents, let me help you understand. It is difficult to make up lost time in instruction. The time that we have for the students to be in school, 180 days, that is all the time that we have. Just as when teachers are out and they're not delivering primary instruction, that is lost time from instruction. It is the same issue when students are not in school. And I understand that, we may view our kindergartners and our 6-year-olds, our first graders, in very sensitive and loving ways, and thinking it's okay for them to be at home. You are not helping them by allowing them to stay at home. If you want to help your babies, our scholars, please send them to school. That is the only way we're going to ensure that our scholars are on grade level reading by 3rd grade. They have to be taught by teachers. We have to support them, and you have to support them at home. We need your assistance and support to send the babies to school, because that is the best place for them. And of course, if you don't believe that your child is getting the very best of instruction, let us know. But keeping them at home is not the answer. We need to work together to keep our babies in school, to make sure that our scholars get the very best so they can be proficient readers.
Yes, sir.
Proficient readers will be successful in the long run. But when we have to play catch up every year, that helps no one. So we need your help in ensuring that the students are in school. And I thank you for allowing me to intervene and interject there, Ms. Robinson. And of course, I do have a question about the math observations. Looks like y'all love to look at reading, but I see the math is a little lacking there. So
Yes, sir. We had some specific things to look for. We did a lot of PLCs around some specific implementations we were looking for in reading, and so we did kind of spend some time with that. Again, to Ms. Tanner point, we as an instructional leadership team have been assigned groups of students that we've been trying to target and work with to do pullouts to provide additional supports for those students. And again, so that is an area that we do need to focus on. Yes, sir.
all right, thank you. Let's move on.
Okay. And so in terms of our planning for this upcoming year, again, we are in the process of having our school improvement application approved. We were allocated a $109,196 for our 1008 application. And at this time, this is our potential plan to utilize those monies to support student outcome. We have allocated $12,000 for professional development, $41,000 for instructional resources to support instructional outcomes and delivery for students, $4,000 for copier expense to ensure that we are able to provide communication and other instructional resources to students. And we plan was a potential looking at obtaining a part-time interventionist to support student outcome. And again, this is a potential plan. This is pending approval. When we look at on the next page, look at our balances. I do apologize. I put the information under the wrong column again, and that should be under the 3rd quarter. But again, our fund balance is the $109,196. For the remaining quarter. If we look at FY22, that is $105,262.62. And at FY21 money, that is $3,527.21. As we scroll on down to our title funds, again, there was an error on my end of not putting it under that specific column. For FY23, our remaining balance, that should be $7,116.87. 400 under FY22, $466.80. And for FY22, that is a zero balance in that area. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robertson.
Dr. Austin.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Robinson just indicated that there was an error in where it was placed on the chart. Let's make sure we catch these errors before these items get to the board agenda, okay?
Yes, sir. Next, we will have Mr. Dr. Fuller to report his, to complete his report.
All right, good evening, everybody. I will be reporting for Yazoo City High School. Um, for the month of March, 88.92%. Number of students with two or more absence, 38%. Teacher attendance rate, 92%. Number of discipline referrals, 49. Classroom observation, 13 for ELA, math, 7, 15 for science, and 7 for U.S. history.
Dr. Fuller, you know what my question is, Doctor?
Yes, sir. More of the same. As Ms. Tanner stated, we are in the classroom, just not capturing it as we should on those forms. So again, we will be more intentional in ensuring that we use those core actions.
If you need another item, remember the learning environments item is shorter and can be used easily. If there's something else we need to work with Mr. Wilson to capture something in a different way, we need to talk with Mr. Wilson. But as I said before, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. I correlate outputs to outcomes.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, Dr. Austin, you can go down to the to our funding. Okay, so this year we will begin our extended year program with some of our funding that we have left. We will use $15,000 for our summer school. We will use also $7,000 for job embedded professional development, and we will use $20,000 for our instructional specialists, which was formerly our master teachers. Also, we use $5,000 for dual enrollment and $11,332 for our instructional resources and software. Third quarter balance, $58,332 FY23, and for FY21, $68,015.11. FY23 of Title One, $37,323.01. FY22, $50,769.24. And that's the end of my report.
All right, thank you, Dr. Fuller. Dr. Austin.
Thank you, Dr. Fuller. At this time, Dr. Watkins, we're going to go back to Ms. Henson. She is prepared to give her board report right now. Ms. Henson, are you ready?
Okay. Good afternoon from Woolfolk. Hold on one second. I'm trying to enlarge my screen. Okay. When we're looking at the term, excuse me. I can't scroll on. Hold on. Okay. We're looking at the column, the last. Just one moment. I'm having some difficulty getting my screen set so I can read the report. Hold on one moment. Oh,
Mr. Wilson.
Yes, sir.
Would you intervene and read the March column for Ms. Henson, please? And we'll just follow up with Ms. Henson later regarding her difficulties.
Yes, sir. So good evening, everyone. I'm presenting on behalf of Woolfolk Middle School, where Ms. Angela Henson serves as the interim principal. And I will be presenting the March updates for the school board report. So the first thing that I will be talking about is the total school enrollment. And so you'll see that we are at 483, which is just decreased by one student from the previous month. And then our student ADA is at 98%, which is great because our goal, which is in alignment with the state goal, is 95%. And then, of course, we have our percentage of students with the 2 or more absences. We want to decrease our chronic absenteeism. And so we are at 36%. So that is an increase. We do realize that this time of the year, we do have to be strategic in getting our students to be in school because we do start to see an increase in absenteeism. And so we will put some measures in place to curtail that, that percentage from increasing. And then our teacher attendance rate is at 85%. We realize that we've had some challenges there, and we've also put some measures in place to correct that as well, while that goal is also 95%. The number of disciplinary referrals at this point is 46, and so that is an increase of about 7 more referrals from the previous month. And so we do want to, we know that people say the sap rises in the spring. And so we want to be sure that we are putting in, corrective measures, restorative practice to be certain to address those behaviors that increase in the springtime. And with our number of observations, we have a breakdown, ELA, math, science. So for in March, we report on February's observation data. We have 1 documented ELA, 3 documented math, and 1 documented science observation. So Dr. Austin, if you'll scroll down.
Here, are you addressing her plans for school improvement?
Okay.
Sir?
Ms. Dr. Austin, would you do the school improvement?
Yes, sir. So with her, they were allocated funds for school improvement this year. With that allocation, the plans are to allocate $20,000 for the instruction and curriculum support specialist. They plan to allocate $25,000 for professional development, which will also include staff stipends for the summer professional learning that they engage in. They plan to offer extended learning for the students this summer to try to close some of those gaps that the students have. They've allocated $39,570 to instructional supplies and resources and software, and they have allocated $20,000 in instructional technology. Now, Woolfolk Middle School previously has been identified as a school that was that had the SID grant. This year is their first year as being identified as a CSI school that will be receiving this amount of school improvement funds.
All right, and let's go down to the budget for them. Dr. Austin, if you would complete that, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So for FY23, they were allocated $114,570. For FY22, from their allocation that they received, which was $56,920, they have a remaining balance of $15,109. And as I stated, for FY21, they were not allocated any money at all in school improvement. Their title funds right now, they don't have any balances. They are at 0. And that will conclude Ms. Henson's report. Now we'll have our final board report from McCoy Elementary, from Ms. Doyle.
Good evening again. We will begin with our total enrollment. Total enrollment was 626. Our student ADA 91.17%. Our students with chronic absences 39%, which is slightly lower than our last month report. We have put something in place to help a last initiative to get our students to come. We are offering them an incentive if they come to school every day between Monday and the last day of testing. So we are hoping that that helps decrease that number significantly. Our teacher attendance rate is up slightly, 95.20%. We've started offering teacher incentives to come to school every day in the week. There's an incentive on Friday. For our discipline referrals, we were up to 18 discipline referrals for that month. Like my colleagues with observations, they don't capture our modeling and co-teaching that we do when we go into the classrooms, and that's kind of where our focus was for this month and has been, just trying to go in and lend a hand. So hopefully that will be captured in our next month so that we can see all of the times we're actually in the classroom. So for ELA and math, we had 18 observations. For science, we had 6, and that one is slightly lower because we only have 2 science teachers, and one of them had some family emergencies during that month, so she wasn't there as often. And we do not participate with U.S. history. For our school improvement funds, we are looking to spend $11,000 on the extended school year, which will begin in June. We are looking to spend $25,000 with job embedded professional developments, which will include our Standards Institute and professional learning that will begin this summer and continue through 23-24 school year. We're looking to spend $15,000 on an instructional and curriculum specialist that will be added next year to help with our 3rd grade ELA. $35,308 on instructional resources, $35,308 on to upgrade our technology, which gives us a total of $121,616 in our school improvement fund for FYI 23 as our remaining balance. Our FY 22 remaining balance is $33,058.21. Our FY 21 balance is $1,405.51. For our title funding, our FY 22 balance is FY 23 balance is $334,407.72. Our FY 22 balance $24,417.04, and our FY 21 balance $47,739.53.
Thank you, Mrs. Doyle. Dr. Watkins, that will conclude our board reports for this month. We will, moving forward, go back to make sure I have a concerted effort to make sure I check every box on the report to make sure that we're reporting out to the community and our stakeholders the information the way that it should be reported.
Okay. Before we leave this item, there's a couple other things we're going to address. I would like for each principal to announce their next community walkthrough. Let's go back to the agenda, and we'll start with Dr. Landbear.
Hi, our next community walkthrough is going to be April 13th at 9:30 a.m.
Thank you. And Ms. Tanner?
April 12th, 9 a.m.
Mr. Russell?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get on mute.
Your next community walkthrough.
My next community walkthrough is going to be April 17th at 9 p.m.
Right.
I'm sorry, 9 a.m.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ricks?
Our next community walk will be April 20th at 11:45 a.m.
Thank you. Now for Yazoo City Schools, Webster, Ms. Robinson?
April 11th at 9 o'clock a.m.
All right, Ms. Doyle?
April 24th at 8:30 a.m.
Ms. Henson
April 6th at 9 o'clock a.m.
and Dr. Fuller. I know Dr. Fuller and Mr. Peters will do theirs together.
Yes, we recently just.
Yeah, you've done yours already. That's right. You did yours earlier. Thank you, Dr. Fuller. And let's go back to the item that I tabled. Chief is here, but actually that item should be presented by Ms. Upshaw because it is a financial item. So if you would, Mr. Dixon, would you open that item so Ms. Upshaw can see what it is? She signed off on it. It's go down, it's 4.7, no, 4.16. And enlarge it so she can see the brief explanation of that item.
I got it. Okay, what we're requesting is your approval of the premium pay resolution. Back, I think, in 21, I think the legislatures had given the Mississippi Department of Public Safety the responsibility of providing funds to law enforcement officers during the COVID-19 pandemic. And so we're requesting your approval of this resolution, and it would apply to Chief Brown because he was an officer during that time. And so we're requesting your approval so those funds will be allocated to the district to give to Chief Brown.
Okay, it's a financial item, so it should have been under your name, Ms. Upshaw, not
Yes,
Chief
sir.
Brown's, okay? All right, so that item is approved. Let's go back to the main agenda item, please, to the main agenda. So as we have completed all of our items on the agenda, I just want to acknowledge our community members, family members, and scholars who were impacted by the recent tornado. And we ask that our community members continue to support our families in Silver City and around the state that were impacted by this event. And we certainly want to keep the Lee family in our prayers, as Mr. Robert Lee Sr. Was unfortunately killed in the tornado on that Friday evening. All of our victims of the tornado and certainly the Lee family will be in our prayers. And if you have looked at our website, there are ways that you can donate and support the families who've been impacted as well. We are calling upon the Mississippi Achievement School District family to get involved by school. And we have gotten several donors for several families that were impacted in Silver City. And we appreciate those donors who have stepped up to the plate and adopted whole families. We have gift cards coming for those families. We have other donations coming for those families. People are reaching out, wanting to know how they can support, how they can help us in ensuring that our families are restored and repaired through this process. And I ask that you continue to keep our teachers and our students and our families in your thoughts and in your prayers as we go through this process during this time, as it is not easy for anyone who have been impacted by this event. And so we thank you for your continued support. This concludes all of the items on the board agenda. Before I adjourn, I want all staff members to remain on the link for a quick virtual staff meeting, not a board meeting, for a staff meeting. We should take no more than 15 minutes. This meeting is now adjourned.